Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sadie Stickers YouTube channel. We're coming at you a little bit later than normal. I decided to spend yesterday night with my husband and my daughter, and I normally film these on Monday nights, so they're going up today. It's fine. These are up until Friday, February 8th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so plenty of time to pick it up. And they're live in the shop now, so that's perfect. This week we have our Bloom and Flourish theme. You'll kind of see where the flourish comes in a second if you haven't seen our release already. I'm going to just go ahead and start with the regular size sheets, and then we'll move into the washi at the end, and then of course I'll show you everything in the planner when I'm done showing everything here as usual. So let me go ahead and zoom you in just a tad, and we'll just hop right into this. So first we have our poppy divider. I mostly focused on poppies, lavender, and tulips for this release, along with some other things you'll see. But here we have the poppy divider, and these are about 1 inch in width, so they do not take up the full width, as you can see here. Next we have our lavender divider, and it just has like little lavender leaves kind of as accents around it. Next we have our leaf divider, just some stems with some leaves coming off of them on the end. Next we have a whole bunch of stems. So my thought behind this was for kind of florals. Most florals are not foiled, so these are little accents that you can use to foil your florals. And then there's a lot of date cover. We have a couple date toppers in here as well, so these can also be used in your date cover deco as well. So here we have tulips, poppies, and lavender, so I'll just give you an overview. This is the tulip sheet. Next is the poppy stems. And then of course we have the lavender stems, which are my personal favorite. I just love the way lavender looks so much. And then next we have some more that don't quite fit as specific florals. So we have our flower bud stems. So they're just little flower buds on the end, perfect to mix with actual flowers to show ones that just haven't quite bloomed yet. We have some branch and berry stems. There's just little tiny berries off of these branches to just add a little something to them. And then if you wanted just plain branches, we have those here, along with just some individual leaves and little like leaf sprouts. Next we have our leaf flourishes. So these are basically like half dividers, so you could totally put like 2 of them next to each other and it would kind of create a divider. But these match the leaf dividers that I showed before. So they're just like a really mini version of it, so you could use them as a divider, a flourish, you could use them as little accents. It's totally up to you. Going along with that, we have some stems and leaves. So this has like individual leaves here that don't have the little stems. We have leaves with the stems, and then we have little just leaf duos here. Next are the leaves and berries. These leaves are a little bit different. They're a lot skinnier. So we have the bigger ones and the smaller ones, and then we have like little berry buds down here as well that are super dainty. Next we have our 3 date toppers for this week. So our first one is our lavender date topper. We have our tulip date topper, which actually has some lavender in it as well. So you could mix these together if you wanted to. And then we have our poppy date topper as well. Next we have our little cluster decos. These are a little bit different than normal, I feel like. We have our poppies, our tulips, and our lavender. So instead of little pieces like the actual flowers, I did little flower stems here. So we have just like little lavender stems in the cluster deco, and the same thing you can see here with the poppies, and then again with the tulips, they're just like little tulip stems, little poppy stems, and little lavender stems that are mixed in there. And then of course you get the really teeny tiny ones here mixed with the clusters as well. So I thought that these would be perfect, especially because y'all love cluster deco so much. So I thought this would go really well with this theme. Next, for the flourish part of this theme, we have 6 new type of mini flourishes, I would say, because they're not very large. I put the largest ones on top here, so Flourish 1 is definitely the largest, but it is definitely not that big either. You can kind of see here how much of the column it takes up. I mean, you can fit 2 of these in a column, so they are pretty small still. I think they're just tall compared to some of these other ones. The other large one that we have here is the Flourish 2. Next is Flourish 3, and this is my personal favorite. I love this Flourish so much. I don't know why. There's just something about the thickness being so satisfying, like the variation and the swoop at the end. I don't know. I love it so much. This is Flourish 4. This is also another favorite of mine. I feel like you could put these 2 together and create a divider out of it as well. Next we have Flourish 5. All of these flourishes are the same width. They kind of just vary in height. So I tried to go from biggest to smallest here. So you can see here on our last flourish, Flourish 6, it's just a little swoop. That's the best way I can describe it. But yeah, so this is Flourish 6, and you get more on here than you do of the other ones just because they're so tiny. So next we have our trim divider 1. I just added these in as well with the theme. They're not exactly flourishes or blooms, but I feel like they kind of accent your spreads the same as flourishes would, and they're pretty versatile. So there's 3 different dividers and they're matching washi, and I did something a little bit different with the washi, but let's go through this first. So we have our trim divider 1, and again with the flourishes, 1 is the largest and 3 is the smallest, and then 2 is kind of like an in-between one. So we have divider 1, divider 2, and then we have divider 3. So what I was talking about was different on the washi. These are the exact same shapes that you saw before with trim washi 1, trim washi 2, and trim washi 3. Lately, I've been doing long ones and short ones, or medium-sized ones, and then an extension into the sidebar. But this time I did it so that the whole entire thing is just one sticker for all of them. So you can, I saw that a lot of people were always extending it into their sidebar, and a lot of people are extending their washi as well. So I just thought I'd look more cohesive to have it not broken up, and I figured if you did want it broken up, you could kind of just cut the chunk out to make it broken up, but it might look a little bit more cohesive this way. I'm just going to try it out for this week, see what y'all think, and if you don't like it, we can go back to the old way, but I thought that this would just be a little bit different. So like I say here, the whole entire thing is just one strip for all of them. Let me see if I can find one from a previous week. I kind of have, this is an old one from last week. So here we have the, if I can pull it up, we have the sidebar as its own piece. And then there's an in-between piece for the 3 days. And then there's the long piece. So instead of doing the separate piece for the sidebar, I just made them all one long piece. There's no way I'm gonna get this back down. That's not even close. It's fine. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I can totally switch it back if you don't like it. But yeah, that is everything that we have this week. Tons of different little flower elements that are perfect for spring and summer and really any time of the year, since we've been using florals year round lately. So I will go ahead and put these in the planner for y'all to see. So if you want to see a quick time lapse of that, just keep on watching. Thanks for watching. Bye.